I saw the other day Culture Cams refer to Salah as the greatest stats Premier League player ever. Not the greatest Premier League player, the greatest stats Premier League player ever. What would it take for him to be considered the greatest Premier League player ever?
I disagree with Cam's approach there completely.
But I get what he's saying. Big up Cams, by the way. But I get what he's saying about Mohamed Salah. Like, there's always, for me, like, I will always look at Rooney, Henry, a couple of other players and think they're better than Mohamed Salah. But I understand why Mohamed Salah is in the conversation to be, in Premier League all-time 11s and argued up there with all these players. But it's just from what you see and what you feel sometimes, isn't it? Statistically, he's right up there.
It's a bit harsh. He's not a stat pad because he does things on,
no,
on the
I don't
ball.
think it's suggesting stat
No,
padding,
but
I think he's saying if you look at his stats, you could argue he's the greatest player the Premier League seen. But your eyes also tell you a different story. When you watched Henry, when you watched Rooney, I
don't know what those stats are though, Adam, with all due respect. I don't know what stats could you say. I mean, Mohamed Salah hasn't got the highest amount of goals in a single Premier League season. He's got a very high amount of goal contributions the last 3 or 4 years. He's won one league title.
But what you could argue the way that he's done it. You could argue the consistency with which he's done it. You could argue where he now ranks in Liverpool folklore. Like, in terms of like Liverpool all-time goal scorers. He's now gone ahead of that, like Billy Liddell.
It's crazy.
Like, when they, like, back in the day before we were born, Liddell was the bloke. Like, they used to call it Liddlepool. Mohamed Salah has scored more goals for Liverpool than Liddell.
There's just something he'll never be able to go back in the history books and do what Rooney did for me, what Henry did. He just won't be able to.